Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Stargirl Season 2, and this is going to be my trailer breakdown for Episode 4 for this season, otherwise entitled, like we're getting used to this season, Summer School Chapter 4. But of course, before we get into the actual breakdown of the trailer, let's quickly watch that trailer.
Hey there, Pat.
You break out of prison, we can be friends.
Buds.
My parents are innocent. Have you lost your mind? They tried to kill us. Mom, don't worry. We got this.
Good luck with that.
So last episode was a bit of a surprising episode because I didn't think it was going to have so much story in it. I thought it might have been mostly just a lot of fun and then with a tiny bit of story for the rest of the season. But it was more than that. So we had Mike activating the Thunderbolt pen. It's been there since season 1. Courtney stole it from the JSA HQ, but it's been in her bedroom, and Mike accidentally comes upon it, activates it, and well, some fun and chaos comes from that. But of course, by the end of the episode, Mike once again accidentally gives it up. I don't think he obviously didn't mean to give it up, but gave it up, and it ends up with Jakeem Williams, who of course is Mike's friend from school, who's been referenced a handful of times. So going to be interested to see when we pick up with him again. I'd assume soon, maybe in the next episode or two, but we don't see him in this trailer at least, so let's see where we meet him next. And then, of course, to end off the episode, the Shade knows that Eclipso is free, and he says that that Eclipso will kill those children, so, you know, obviously referencing the JSA or the new JSA. So it's going to be interesting to see whether he teams up with the JSA or helps them behind the scenes without them knowing, or behind closed doors, whichever way you want to put it, because he seemed worried himself that Eclipso is out there and he sort of wants to contain it. But yeah, before we get into the actual breakdown of the trailer, we will quickly go over the synopsis or description, as it gives us a bit more insight into stuff. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on all of this. What are you looking forward to the most? Is there anything I missed from the trailer? Let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are going to enjoy the video and you're looking forward to this episode, why not drop a like on it, not drop a like on it. As Pat considers whether he should come clean to Courtney about Eclipso's past, a surprise visit from Croc and Paula catches him and Barbara off guard. A tense run-in with the Shade provides Courtney with some valuable information. Finally, Cindy makes her move. Now, this trailer pretty much plays off of the synopsis for the most part, which is a rare occurrence. Usually the synopsis maybe has like stuff from half of the trailer and then hints at some other stuff that's not in the trailer. But pretty much what's in the trailer, or what's in the synopsis, is featured in the trailer and or promo images, which we will also go over later on. But we do kick it off straight away with a bit of a nod to season 1. I don't know if anyone noticed this, when we have Pat going to the workshop where Crusher, who they call Croc because his last name's Croc, but I thought we were calling him Crusher on the show. But anyway, Crusher, or, you know, Sportsmaster, has captured Mike. Now, of course, in season 1, towards the end of it, I think it was in the second or third last episode, we had that fight sequence play out involving Crusher, Pat, and Mike. But Crusher isn't alone here with Mike and Pat. His wife, Paula, or, you know, Tigress, is also there. And as you can see in the next shot in the trailer, I think it appears that they capture Mike while he is on his paper route. Now, I must say, this paper route that Mike has is becoming a dangerous thing. I mean, first he is targeted by bullies, now he is being captured by ISA members. Surely there's another job he can take up, because who knows what the hell would happen next on this paper route if, you know, those are the first two things. I mean, it could be something falling from the sky. Knowing Mike, he'd be unlucky enough to, like, be delivering a paper to, like, somewhere on the outskirts of town and Grundy's just standing there waiting to eat him. Something along those lines. But as Pat does question Crusher, I think he says, did you break out of prison, or you broke out of prison, something like that. And you can see throughout the trailer that both Crusher and Paula are wearing hoodies and like hiding their identities and various covering techniques and stuff like that. And though we could question if anyone, you know, went and broke them out of prison, I think we can assume that, well, like, they're villains. They have been, you know, probably been in prison a few times before, to say the least. So they probably would know how to get out of prison when the moment suits them. They just got to wait to strike at the right time. But along with that, it will be interesting to see if they remain hidden throughout the episode, or for whatever length it is, or someone outside of Pat and the family do notice them and maybe get, well, you know, silenced, shall we say, you know, in order to keep themselves hidden. I think, you know, Sportsmaster and Tigress would be willing to do anything to keep their, you know, their secret, then keep themselves hidden. I mean, we saw them kill that coach last season because he he benched their daughter. So, you know, they have a pretty low bar in regards to what they're willing to do. Now, Crusher does tell Pat, we can be friends, buds. And I think this will be Crusher trying to use Pat in order to get something. And I think the most likely answer in regards to what he wants to get would be access to their daughter, Artemis. However, it's not like Artemis has been against her parents or hated them. She has been calling out their innocence at school and everything like that. Even though as the audience, we know that they're not innocent. Though it could be argued then that maybe publicly she's saying, oh, they're innocent. But deep down she has a deep, anger towards her parents for, I guess maybe leaving her alone. Maybe she feels like they left her alone because of what they were doing. But even then at school, we see Artemis crush an apple in front of Courtney, repeating that her parents are innocent and everything like that. So let's see which avenue they go down, where Artemis actually 100% believes they're innocent, both publicly and privately, or it's a cover and she actually has some issues with her parents. But it could be also that Crusher and Paula are trying to use Pat for another reason. That might be to clear their name, perhaps. I'm sure we will find out pretty early within the episode what's going on with them, what they're up to. But I'm sure it will cause some drama, as we do see Paula and Crusher in Pat's house alongside Barbara. And it seems Courtney sees them as well in the house. And it might be Courtney's job to gain some trust with Artemis in order to play into the plan that is going on within this episode amongst Pat, Crusher, and Paula. Now, the synopsis does talk about Pat considering whether or not he should come clean to Courtney about Eclipso and his past, but maybe Pat just wants to double check that Eclipso is actually a threat to him at the moment or not. But then again, Beth may relay that message that Chuck gave her at the end of last episode that of course said Eclipso is here. And I don't think Pat wouldn't believe Chuck. I don't think he'd be sitting there going, you know what, I'll wait and I'll see myself. I think he would believe Chuck, or at least it would push him in the direction of believing it. And then maybe he'd want to double check or maybe do like half of a double check after that. So let's see what happens there and whether any Eclipso info is spilled, or if we do have to wait another episode or so for that to come out, because I believe that episode 9, that one that we're getting Jay Garrick and there's going to be JSA flashbacks, might be a big episode in regards to Eclipso's history with the JSA and stuff that he did. But maybe Pat drops a handful or a couple of little pieces of information, or maybe just give him like a broad statement of what he did and how long it took the JSA to take him down, how dangerous he was, maybe how many people he killed, something along those lines. I just don't know if they'd spilled too much of that right now, just because it only is, with this episode 4, so they might wait a bit because there is still 13 episodes within the season. But yeah, that's the trailer. It wasn't like a massively deep trailer, really just focused on the return of Sportsmaster and Tigress for the most part, with a little couple of added things, but we do have a bunch of promo images of stuff that is not featured in the trailer, which not in the trailer, but it's actually featured in the synopsis. So the first one here is the Shade encountering Courtney. It's in, I'm going to assume this is just the Blue Valley Library. I don't think this doesn't look like a library that would be in Blue Valley High. It looks a bit too, I was gonna say vintage, but it looks a bit too old to be in Blue Valley High. So I'm going to assume this is in maybe, or it could be in the American Dream thing, or it just could be in like the local library of the Blue Valley. One of the two, I'm not too sure. But as the synopsis does say, it says that this is like a tense run-in apparently, and the Shade provides Courtney with some valuable information. So I think this is the start of the Shade trying to protect the JSA without actually being a part of the JSA, if that makes sense. So he's really being that middleman between Eclipso and the JSA and the kids. So I'm interested to see specifically what he says, but in regards to this valuable information, or at least what he gives or tells Courtney specifically, we do see the JSA, minus Pat, I guess, in the diner with this book, and it says maps on the front of it. Now, in regards to what's specifically in it, I don't know if it's like a history of what Eclipso did or where certain things could be. But even though the book says maps, it seems to say like maps something of the world, like maps throughout the world or something like that. I think that's what the book says. Obviously it's old, so it's meant to be like sort of like faded a bit, but it says maps, I think, throughout the world or something along those lines. So maybe it's meant to be like the birthplace of Eclipso or something along those lines. But yeah, going to be interested to see what they do here. And maybe they might even be saying that Eclipso influenced some events throughout the world's past. So maybe some certain wars or just certain bad events that happened. So maybe that's, they were hinting at Courtney, jumping into history last episode. And, if I read my book, history's not that hard. So maybe that was hinting at some of this storyline with Eclipso and them having to research certain places where Eclipso might have affected. That might be what we're getting. The next two promo images are Beth encountering her mother. Obviously, Rick at the end of last episode did talk to Beth like, hey, you should just talk to your parents and, about this whole divorce thing. So this could be Beth bringing that up. Going to be interested to see where it goes, because they did say that like there's going to be some like dark secrets with the family, but I think the dark secret might just be that they're keeping the divorce away from Beth or keeping it hidden until it happens. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. It's hard to tell exactly what the secret will be. We can just assume it's the divorce, but let's wait and see. But next up, we do get a few images of Pat and Courtney, or just Courtney specifically at school with a couple of other people. So we see Courtney with Pat, and this is at the football game or the football training, which we did see in the trailer. The next one is Courtney encountering Artemis, once again from the trailer. Just pretty much a still image from that scene. Once again with Yolanda in the back. So Courtney's not going solo. She's got Yolanda's back up. I don't know if Yolanda's going to step in too much though. But yeah, there's some interactions here. But here's another thing that was hinted at in the synopsis. So the synopsis does say, finally, Cindy makes her move. So we can see Cindy here at school. Obviously, she's not a student there anymore. So she's come back. And the person that she's encountering is Artemis Croc. So whatever happens with Artemis this episode might, bring Cindy in and say this is the perfect time to strike Artemis and bring her into this Injustice Unlimited team, which of course we saw hinted at the end of episode 1. So it seems that Artemis is going to be the first member, based off this at least. So I don't know if this means Eclipso affects Artemis, or Artemis just gets drawn in without Eclipso needed. Like Artemis just wants to be a part of the team and go down that villain route like her parents did. But let's wait and see what happens there. But Cindy is definitely making those moves. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions on this episode. What you're looking forward to the most, any theories about anything we went over in the video. Let me know in the comments section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.